Hello and welcome to Re-enthused and the next part of the Sord M68 rebuild, refurbishment, repair, who knows. So last time we attempted to power it up using an ATX power supply. It was only a mini one, well, it's micro things, didn't have enough current. And to be honest, we shouldn't have powered it straight up anyway. As always, this channel is more do as I say rather than do as I do. We really should have done more tests, and that's what we will be doing today. We've got another power supply to replace that one. We'll have a bit more grunts, but we will be doing some pre-flight checks before we try to power up this time, because a power supply with proper current, if this has got issues, will do some actual damage. We kind of knew that the mini-atx thing would not be able to draw enough current anyway to do anything. So yeah, but this time we will actually do some proper tests. Then we'll, if they work out, we'll try powering the thing up, and once that's powering up, well, assuming we'd have to do any repairs to it, of course, then we can try to see if we can get video signal out of it. And we're kind of almost at the end at that point. Right, let's try and see if we can get this power supply sorted first anyway. Okay, so we've got a new board, basically the same as the other board, still an ATX connector obviously, and still these mounting points, but it's probably unlikely they're going to be used anymore, and obviously we still got the fan header, there you go, you see that? Yeah, we are, and the two power headers that the actual computer needs. So we have tested the voltage in this already. I've tested the voltage because even though, yes, it's still an ATX connector, we should still make sure the power is correct, and it all is, it's all good. And we have connected it to this, which is just kind of a mini power supply. It's only a very cheap thing, I think. I've certainly never heard of the brand anyway. But it should be fine for powering up our machine. I think we probably, if it works, we don't need all of these. Just knock everything off, that's fine. If it works, we don't need all of these, obviously. Even this is like just really hefty. They need to be strapped up, and we may even just cut these off or tie them away somewhere because they're not necessary. Stay there. There we go. Because yeah, this board, the machine gets all of its drive power and stuff from this board, so you don't need those. Right. Well, I think what we should do is take this over to the Sord and do some tests on it, and if all checks out, then we try to power it up again. Right, back in a minute. Okay, so we've strapped the power board in here again, but it's obviously not going to stay there because we've got nowhere to put this. I think this will fit in there with this. We may need to just put some backing on this, some non-conductive sticky backing, and maybe stick it to the other side of that, and then maybe work out how this will stay in. But anyway, none of that matters until we actually see what position we're in with this. Right, so well, let's get in closer. Right, so this is the power cable that goes back to the power board, and so we can kind of work out what these are supposed to hold. They're also color coded as well, so we know, yeah, these blacks are definitely ground, so we know the blacks are ground and the others are voltage. So what we need to do, if you remember from the PC 6001 video, what we need to do first is we need to make sure we've got no grounds to voltage going on. So we do that, we turn the multimeter to continuity mode, turn it so it makes a beep. I don't really need to see the screen because we can hear it when it does something. So we take this out. Actually, we should check the cable first, because this cable was corroded and it's plugged into the board. No, it's not, hold on. It's not plugged into the board. Let me plug it into the board. Yeah, well, I still don't think this will reach. Never mind, there's not actually a problem yet. Right, so we know that this black contact here is ground. All the grounds are connected. We can check that by doing, there we go, connected, and should be connected as well. Why are you not connected? That's you, right? Okay, you aren't connected. No, you're going off to this separate cable, so that you would not be connected, that's true. Okay, so anyway, you're connected, and you're connected, and you're connected. So, we know that the grounds are connected, so if we touch any of the grounds, and any of the voltage cables, and this is a red right at the end. There we go, we should not get any kind of continuity. And the blue and the orange back here. There we go, so we know the cable's okay. So, for this connector, you want to go, hold on, let me check that again. 3 in. 3 in is ground, and next to that is a ground as well. There we go, we got a ground, and next to that's a ground. What got next? Next is a 5 volt, I think. Let me check that. Blue, orange, black, 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 red, 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 black. Okay. Yeah, 3 in. And well, right at the end here, this is a red right at the end. Am I touching that? Okay, that doesn't feel like that's ground. Okay, so maybe we haven't got that's felt like we had a route to ground there. So then that's a ground there, so that should be, yep. And then this one shouldn't be. Okay. Well, okay, so what that means is we've got a short over the 5 volt rail. Let me verify that's the 5 volt rail. I'm assuming because it's red. Yeah, so plus 5 volts. So we do have a short over the plus 5 volts rail. Oh, again, this one at the end is coming from this, which was the battery, so that explains why that one wasn't shorting. Okay, well, this is the interconnect between these boards, so that's ground, that's 5 volts. Yeah, we got a short. Alright, so, yeah, powering that up the other day, even on that low voltage, was probably a bad idea. But alright. Well, anyway, okay, with this board, there's one thing we can do, and if we just quickly zoom out. So there we go. So the one thing we can do with this board, let's get this cable out of the way, hold on, is that this board is 2 boards. This computer has 2 boards. So, we can reduce the complexity by just removing one of the boards. In fact, we don't even have to remove one of the boards. We can just remove screwdriver. There's a screwdriver. We can just remove the power interconnect here, and then we can recheck the voltages, because I don't think voltages. Oh, I've unscrewed it, by the way. I took all the screws out because we had the wrong screws, so I was going to go and find the right ones anyway. Ah, there we go. Right, so I don't think power goes over that. So by removing that power, get back in place, you. Removing that power interconnect means these should no longer be connected to each other. So by doing this, we should just be checking the power for the bottom board. So again, third one in, and that's ground, isn't it? Yeah, that's ground. That's 5 volts. No, we still got. Okay, we still got a short then, so that's not it. Oh, actually, that's got a red line. Is that definitely not? Let's just remove the whole board. Yeah, let's remove the whole board. We need to be certain, don't we, really? We can't just, otherwise we're going to be looking at all of these, both of these boards, and they are complex boards each on their own without having to look for all of it. So we can narrow it down. So let's move this one over here for now. And let's check this again. Third one in, and that's ground and ha ha. Nope, still got a short. Oh no, hold on. Was that right? Yeah, no, that was right. That was right. That should be not shorted. Okay, so we still got a short. So is that other board okay then? In fact, I've just rechecked, and there is actually resistance between those two to all those pins, which is interesting. Right, we need to check the actual boards, I think. So, I mean, in terms of capacitors, we don't have many. Got some ceramics there. We've got, that's a tantalum down there. So that's going to be suspect immediately. That's a ground point. The small caps over there, but they look okay. We've got some filter caps down here, but they're probably not the problem. Okay, so let's so that's probably ground on that chip. We definitely do have a short. Okay, so we have a short on this board. Does that mean we have a short on the other board as well then? And there is resistance, so it's not a direct short. Alright, we need to check the other board anyway. I'm not going to be able to find out the issue right away. Okay. Upon lifting up this board, I got an instant whiff of very sick components. And it comes to the centre, and I have found something. I don't know if we can get this to focus in properly, decent enough to show. Probably not. I'll try and get a close-up in a minute, but these two capacitors are looking very unhealthy indeed. Now, if this is the board that's got an issue, this worries me for a couple of reasons. One, we have a ROM there, which is going to be hard, if not impossible, to replace. I will take that off later and see if I can read it. But also we have this, which is a graphics chip, or at least a visual display chip. Now, it's not a custom part. It was used in other machines, but I suspect it's not going to be easy to replace either, or possibly not cheap to replace. So we need to go and check those ones out anyway. But yeah, let me try and get a close-up on those tantalums. But I think that possibly the problem with this board. The other board, I don't know what's going on with that. One thing is, I'm not sure how we get this board off. I think maybe we're going to have to completely desolder it. It's kind of held on with like a dip profile. So I guess we're going to have to desolder that. There's lovely little patch cables going from one side of the board to the other. Have to remember those when we desolder that as well. Ha! Okay, well let's check this other board out anyway. Okay, gonna say, and it's very dangerous, but although we're getting continuity from this, I'm not getting any indication that anything's going straight to ground. It's very odd. I'm tempted to try powering this board up without the other one. I don't know what's going to happen, but by the same token, we can always turn it off really quickly if something bad happens. Yeah, I think we're going to give it a try. Just, yeah. First of all, is that in place? That is in place, right. We are going to give it a try, so anyone sees any smoke or fire, let me know. Okay. I don't know if you can see the lights. Let's zoom in there, and you might have heard the beep. There are, so there's some lights there. Not all of them are lit, but then probably part of that is because the top board's not on, but I don't smell any smoke. Let's turn it off though. Let's not roll the dice too much. Okay, we possibly didn't achieve that much this time around, but we got something powered up and we got those lights to show, which is what I've been wanting to see. I know I'm a simple person, and it's got a beeper. I completely missed the beeper at the back. Or maybe I saw it earlier, but I didn't realise it was there anyway. And so we got a nice beep from it as well, which means something is running. So part of this is powering up, which is astounding. We can't get any video out of it because the board that does the video looks like it has actual general problems, so a genuine issue. Now, okay, yeah, the reason for that, right, so the reason why I was willing to try this board out, even though it looked like it had a route to ground from the voltage rails, is because I was getting quite a high resistance, even though my multimeter was telling me that there was continuity there. If I had the other board plugged in, it's straight to ground. There's no resistance at all. So I think that there's not really a route to ground with this board, or if there is, it's okay enough for us to power it up. Again, do as I say, not as I do in this case, because you really should be more careful than I was being with this. It was just because of that evidence with that other board that I felt it was safe enough. The top board we have to take a look at. We still have to work out. I'm going to have to probably desolder that top board. I did try prising it a little bit just to see if it was plugged into a thing. You can't quite see underneath it. It's not very high off of the board. But it wasn't shifting at all, so I think I'm going to have to desolder that. Always a worry with machines this old because tracks get really delicate, plus the technology to make them back then wasn't as good as it is now, so they can strip quite easily. So we need to be really careful getting that board off, and then we'll see if we can work out what those tantalums are and see if we can replace those and see if we get the same resistance when that board's in once we've done that. And if we do, and we can get both boards powering up, then we can start to try and find some video. It's getting closer. It doesn't feel like it, I know. There's a lot of episodes, many more than we normally do, but we are getting there. We've got a working solution with the power supply. We still have to work out how it's going to fit in there, but I think we can literally just tape the other board with a non-conductive tape onto the other side of that, and it will just work. We still have to work out why that, because I tried that cable as well. It still doesn't reach with the rearrangement I've done of this board, where the plug's all the way this end now and it's higher up. It still doesn't seem to quite reach. So I must be missing something there. I think it must be arranged in a different way that I'm not missing. Plus, we still have to replace the battery, and we still have to work out the video, and then we have to work out the keyboard, and then finally software. I know we can connect a GoTech to it, but other people have talked about doing it, so it's possible. Just to work out to make sure we can do it correctly. We're not too far off, I don't think. So stick with us. Right. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like. If you really enjoyed the video, please hit subscribe. If you didn't enjoy the video or you have something else to say, then please leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the bell icon if you want to be told about further parts of this or other videos we do. And if you want to get access to exclusive videos, exclusive behind the scenes shots, and early access to normal videos, then join our Patreon. You'll get early access to videos and the exclusive videos from $1 upwards. The exclusive behind the scenes stuff is $4 upwards. It's relatively inexpensive, and all the money you do that helps us kind of continue to get stuff to fix things, because it is it's an expensive hobby. But by all means, you do not need to back us. You can just wait till Saturdays and the videos will come out as normal, all the main videos anyway. So yeah, by all means, don't feel you have to, but if you can afford it, it would be great if you could. Anyway, see you next time.